You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Catfish After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Catfish After Show.
I expect you to sing this, Kiki.
I'm not a singer. And it's Whitney Houston's song, so I don't want her to be like rolling around her grave like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, it's a great song nonetheless, but I
yes.
thought you sang it pretty beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the season premiere after show for Catfish. But first, if you didn't already know, the AfterBuzz founders, Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro, have a show of their own, and we've all been watching it. It's Chasing Maria Menounos on Oxygen, and it airs every Tuesday at 10 p.m. So please tune in and watch that. It's on Oxygen, and you can get it on iTunes and Amazon and on demand. I really love it. It's a great show, and you get to see a lot of the behind the scenes for AfterBuzz, so that's always fun.
Yes.
AfterBuzz has been on a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So please tune into that and support Maria.
We love you, Maria.
Yeah. All right, so let's get right into it. Catfish is back. It is one of my biggest. Oh wait, first of all, I'm Sterling Cates. Sorry, I'm just so excited. I just want to jump right into it.
It's a really good episode.
But maybe you might want to know who we are, but maybe not. You never know. All right, I'm Sterling Cates, and these are my lovely co-hosts. If you want to introduce yourself.
Kiki Ayers.
Hi, I'm Jessie Owen.
All right, so now we'll get started. So season 3 premiere. We had a lot of oh my god moments. We were watching it together in the trailer before this. I'm really excited to talk about it. What was your overall impression of Catfish? This episode.
I was scared. I feel like I was watching. I kind of feel like I was watching like a horror movie, like all this suspense. Like I felt like I was there, like finding the person with them. So it was interesting.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And you were saying Catfish is now in the dictionary.
English dictionary's been added. I haven't been this excited since they added Bootylicious. So I'm like, yeah, go Neve. So that's awesome. I saw you tweeted that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that is. And I feel like it happens so much in today's society, whether you're just making friends online or you're dating online or using like social media apps or whatever. You don't really know who you're talking to. So Catfish is a very common word. So now that it's in the dictionary right before Bootylicious is quite the honor.
It's been going on for a while though, because I remember, being junior high, elementary school when Instant Messenger was really popular and like random people would pop up.
And chat rooms, and that's kind of where it all started. And you never really know who you're talking to. Right. So it's just the internet. It's crazy. Okay, so we get to see Max and Neve again, and they get an email from Craig, and he's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Subject of the email is Heartbreak Hotel. And funniest part for me was that the A or E or whatever it was an actual like emoji heart. I was like, oh geez, this is pretty cheesy. But anyways, he's 24, lives in Pittsburgh, and he's been in a relationship with this girl, Zoe, who lives in Florida, she says, but we're not really sure. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And they've been talking or dating or together for a year and 3 months.
It's a long time.
Yeah, especially not to have ever met. Like, that's kind of like, she's wrong, but in a way, I kind of want to blame him. I'm like, dude, it's been a year and 3 months. You've never met her.
A year and 3 months is a long time to go without ever seeing someone in person, like even Skyping. Yes. Because they never Skyped. He said they talked on the phone in the beginning of their relationship, just to talk on the phone every day. They would start talking once they wake up, be the last person they talk to at the end of the day for a year and 3 months. And they said, I love you after just a couple of months. Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I definitely can understand, getting to know someone, saying that I love yous. We all get infatuated and you think you feel something that you don't. But then again, it goes back to what I just said. You can't go that long without at least questioning it or saying, hey, I'm going to break this off if you don't talk to me, meet me, do something.
Right. Yeah, well, so I think Craig, though, when we're kind of getting his background and a little bit about him, he says that he always feels just alone, like there's no one there for him. He had seen his dad once before his dad passed away from AIDS when he was 8. So, I mean, he's just had a really rough life. He has a sister, Mariah, but like I think romantically or someone to be intimate with, he just doesn't have that. And so when he found it with this Zoe girl, he just kind of latched on really fast and really hard, it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he has like abandonment issues,
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what it was. It's just having that person there that can talk to you, someone who helps you through your hard times, because you don't have a father figure. And with men, when you have a father, it's like that role model to like show you through life and help you through these hard times that they've been through. And it's like when you finally find someone online, which is I mean, however he finds them, it's online in this case, but you just get attached to that because she was basically filling that void that he had from not having his father.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also, just to take a little bit of the blame off Craig a little bit for this, I think that he also felt comfortable because he met Zoe. Sorry, I think about her name for a second. He met Zoe through his sister, Mariah, but his sister kind of recommended that they start talking or whatever because she had a mutual friend with this Zoe person. So it seemed like, oh yeah, it's got to be her because my sister is kind of setting it up.
Right.
So, I mean, why not trust that? Like, why wouldn't? I mean, if my sister set me up with someone, that would be really weird online. But I would, feel more comfortable than if it had just been a random person I met on Facebook.
Definitely. And I don't blame him for that at all. I mean, I would, be the same way. I'd be like, it's my sister. She says she was cool as well. She considers her a friend. But at the same time, 1 year and 3 months, it's just like the timing for me. It's like, that's cool for like a couple of months. But after I keep trying to meet you and you keep standing me up, I'm just like...
So he said they tried to meet up 4 times. She's even going as far as being like, okay, I'll be there at 2, and then not showing up. He waited one time until 4 a.m. and she never came. She got a family emergency. She keeps getting family emergencies 4 times. I mean, that's a huge, like... bell or whatever goes off, alarm. What's the saying?
I'm not a flag.
Red flag. There we go. It's late.
Like, girl, new excuse. Your car broke down. Yeah. Something happened with your something. I'm like, girl, you used that 4 times.
Yeah. And then red flag number 17. I know we've talked about a million of them already. But he asked her to send pictures of her because, I mean, it's a long distance relationship. They've never met. And she says, stop bugging me, and won't send them, gets really defensive about sending the pictures. Hello, that's obviously what's going on here. But they were still saying that they love each other and that whole thing. But let's get into so Facebook has this new thing where it syncs with your iPhone, so it kind of uploads pictures to your iPhone. But before that, Zoe was asking Craig for all of his passwords, wanted to be able to log into all of his stuff, have access, just seeming like a crazy psycho girlfriend, just wanting to have control. Mm-hmm. We had to rewind that for a second just to make sure that, because I thought, oh, no way he's going to give her the passwords. But he gave her the passwords to everything, and he's never even met her in person.
And then changed the passwords, and she still hacked in.
Yeah, red flag 49, I think we're on.
The real Zoe did not seem that smart to be able to hack into someone's account.
Yes, that is a very good point. Yes, I'll get to that in a second. But, so she gets these, so Craig's friend... Is it Kayla or Kaylin? Because there were 2. Kaylin has sent him pictures of her in lingerie or nude, probably nude, but I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going on. But anyways, they are just friends, it said, quote, unquote. Yeah, right. That was weird, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, I don't care what their relationship is. He had the pictures. And because Zoe, they kept calling her Zoe, but it's like spelled like Zoe. I'm gonna just say Zoe. Anyway, because she had all of his access to all of his stuff, she kind of used these pictures to back or sabotage the lives of all of these people a whole town away. And in Jacksonville, we'll talk about like where she really is later. But so she used these pictures and she was posting them from his Facebook account and saying, like calling them very vulgar names and just kind of outing them using their first and last name. So bringing other people into this, that was very shocking.
Yeah, what I did notice too is that she tended to bring in pretty girls. She did with pretty girls.
Yeah.
And, you know, as you learn more later on about her situation or whatever with bullying, I think she kind of made those girls the faces and maybe the girls who probably bullied her. And it was just like, it was a lot of red flags. It's like, you know, first she stood him up and then it's like, he said, you know, she put it back on me like it was my fault that she didn't come. And then she's really possessive with like Facebook. And it's just like, whether you meet someone or not, that's just like the signs of a crazy girlfriend, like on a thin line between love and hate type stuff. Like, you just need to walk away from that situation. So.
Yeah. And what he called her sister? What he called her something? His sister. He posted something.
Oh yeah. Well,
he blasted her on Facebook. But still, it's like if you're as close to your sister as you say you are you not going to defend her? Like, you know?
Yeah, that was all just like in my notes. I have psycho ? Like I'm just like all over the place here. But then, so like you said, so after all of that stuff happened and she was posting from his account these naked pictures of girls getting in arguments with other people. From his account, he tries to change his password, you know, natural reaction. And she still hacks in and is still doing it. So, and it's still connected. His Facebook account is still connected on her phone. Mm-hmm. So what happens is, the Facebook, that setting or whatever, the photo sync or whatever, syncs her picture with his account. And he sees a picture from her camera roll who is a completely different girl. Big shocker, you know, and it's not her pictures. And he asks who it is, and she says it's a girl named Cassandra, however you say it. And so that's just, you know, once again, another red flag. He asks about it. She says it's just one of her friends. It's a selfie. No one else in the car. All right. I think the story should have ended there. But anyway, but because she keeps hacking into his accounts, whatever, it keeps making her relevant, keeps making her a presence in his life, and she's still involved, and she still has a relationship with his sister and, you know, people in his sister's life. So it's like this girl won't go away. Yeah. So, and he doesn't know if she's in Shelby or Jacksonville. So, which Shelby is in North Carolina. It's really close to where I'm from. I'm just going to pretend like I'm not from there for a second.
You don't have to claim her, girl. We know it's not you.
Oh, God. So then they decide, Neve and Max decide to take Craig to Jacksonville to try to get to the bottom of it. They decide they want to try to meet this person. And we see Mariah. So what were you guys thinking at this time when they were meeting Mariah, kind of getting the lowdown? Did you guys...
I think we were thinking what everyone was thinking, like from the very jump with all these red flags.
Yeah, like how many more do they need, really?
Yeah, and I think he knew too because he said it too. He's like, when I saw this picture, you know, go sync to my Facebook, something told me that was that girl. Yeah. But again, when you're in love and you need someone to fill that void, you're gonna lie to yourself because you want something to be so bad. You're not going to pay attention to the signs. You're going to ignore them. You're going to lie to yourself, and you're just going to believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, and I mean, they had a relationship for 1 year and 3 months, and he was going through a lot of financial struggles. He was feeling very alone before that, and the fact that she kind of, like you said, filled that void for him, you can't just like let go of that. I can totally see how that would be, you know, hard something, because then you just have that hole again and you're like alone. And his sister doesn't live in Pittsburgh with him. She lives in Florida, so it's not like he has that relationship either. But when we meet Mariah, we learn more about how close her and Zoe are. And I didn't realize that they were that good of friends. She described them as like best friends, and they had a mutual friend who apparently knew Zoe since the 8th grade, but not in person, but online. So that just goes to show like how, like what you were saying, like when chat rooms, because that was, a long time ago now.
I'm ancient.
No, but like when in 8th grade, like that's probably how they met, like on those like AIM chat rooms and that sort of stuff. Because I don't think Facebook was around. Well, I don't know how old they are, but I'm assuming he's 24, so when they were in the 8th grade. Right. Yeah, okay. So at this point, Max is calling her like a social network bully because she has all of these relationships that she's just manipulating.
From a different state,
yeah,
too.
Whether they're friendships or their romantic interests, she like has complete control over them because she can post these pictures. She has these threats, and they're not empty either because she's actually doing it and, like ruining these people's lives, which is interesting because usually Catfish, we just have the one thing, the one romantic relationship. It's not who they say they are. Big shocker, we do it again the next week. But this like really incorporates a lot of other aspects of it, a lot more online bullying, a lot more hiding behind who you are, but not just in order to have a romantic connection with someone, but to like revenge like your childhood on these people. It's so scary.
It's almost like harassment on her part, though, too, posting photos and everything. Like, I'm very surprised that, was it Caitlin whose nude photo?
Caitlin, yeah.
If someone posted a nude photo of me, online, like, and I knew who it was, like, I would definitely get someone involved that could, do something about it.
Yeah, and the crazy part is that, it's this Zoe person who doesn't, well, we won't give anything away just yet, but she's doing this from Criag's profile, so it seems at first that it's him, so that ruins his relationship with this person, and this person, and so I can't even imagine being him in that standpoint. And we see in the next scene when they take Kaylin and Kayla, who also live in Jacksonville, who are friends with Mariah, Craig's sister. And it's Neve, Max, Criag, Kayla, and Kaylin, and they're all at lunch. And they're just talking about how Kayla and Kaylin's friendship is now broken because Zoe contacted Kayla about having these naked photos of Kaylin. And Kayla didn't really defend her friend Kaylin. She was kind of like, well, why were you sending them out in the first place? Like, what would you guys have... Well, if you were Kayla, what would be your reaction when that would happen?
I think she could have been more sensitive to the issue first, because that's your friend and it is out. Yeah. It's like you don't really need an "I told you so." Totally. At that point, your friend is being exposed. You don't know how many more pictures she has. You don't know when she's gonna post it. Right. Kaylin said she was playing a game of it, like, "Hey, 10 o'clock, I'm gonna post something else," and it's just like she
it's like
even
Pretty
said,
Little Liars.
Yeah. And she's like, she even told her, like, I'm kissing her butt at this point, but she turned around and posted the next day regardless. Yeah. So it's just like, you don't know what she's gonna do with these pictures, what pictures she has, where she got them from, what else she's gonna do with it. You don't even know, like, this person. So that's scary for you. I think as a friend, first you need to be sensitive to that issue, and before saying, why did you send it? You don't need that as a friend.
Right. I completely agree with that. Do you have anything to add?
No, I completely agree.
Yeah, I agree to that. I mean, I guess it is natural to be like, well, why were you sending nudes in the first place? But I think Kaylin gets that at this point.
Yeah, at this point, you get it.
I think she's learned her lesson. She's being publicly humiliated on Facebook. And, but it's sad to see that their friendship was broken because of this person online that they don't even know. So that whole thing is just crazy to me, and it's all connected, and they're all in different places, and it's like a whole community of people whose lives have been affected and if not ruined by this Zoe character.
I think that's what makes it worse too, because it was like, not only was she posting it, she was like posting it on his Facebook too. Yeah. So it's like, now it's like all our friends. If you post it on your own Facebook, it's like, people I don't know, but she's posting it with the high school and everything.
With all the people that they know.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like...
Yeah. And so at that point, Craig has to get up from the table and he leaves crying, which, is real. It's like, well, he really, because it's his fault for trusting this person, but it's also like, you can't not trust people. Like Neve told him, you couldn't have done anything about it. You were just pursuing love. Like, it's totally understandable. Like, he had no idea that this girl is capable of doing all of these things. It's just like, it's really sad.
Didn't he know about all this stuff going on, like when it was happening? Because that should have been like a red flag too. He should have been like, see ya, girl, like, you're crazy.
Well, it sounded like he did know it, but he kept trying to change his passwords and keep trying to like do it, but she kept like hacking in and still doing it. When he was explaining it at first, he didn't really give us all of those details. I think they probably did that just so that Kayla and Kaylin would have stuff to say. Yeah. But we definitely learned a lot at that lunch about the how extreme the postings were. So, so he's crying outside, and it's just a really sad moment. I'm like tearing up thinking about it. But he says he fell in love with someone who is evil. Yeah. And, that's not an overstatement.
Yes, I love that. I think that was just like the core of everything that the episode's about. If someone falling in love with someone that's just evil. Yeah. That's what she was. So, yeah.
And so Neve and Max are like, all right, we got to find this. We got to find this girl. But before we talk about how they found them, let's just real quick, let's say go on iTunes, please, if you want us to come back every week with new Catfish AfterBuzz. Rate and review us on iTunes, and you can also download the AfterBuzz TV app on your iPhone and Android, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and all of that fun stuff, and we'll keep coming back with fun shows every week. Yes. Okay, so let's jump back in to now we're at the point where Neve and Max are going to do the whole investigation. This is my favorite part of the whole show. This is what I wait for. So first they run the number. And it comes up with this, they do like a reverse search on their phone number, and it comes up with this 60-year-old woman, Mary Ann Rosmus. When you saw that, what did you think? Did you think it was her?
I thought it was her.
Someone's grandma is ruining everybody's life. Yeah. Someone better get their grandma and give her medicine.
Do you think I was thinking that too. I was like, well, that is a twist that I was not expecting. But I also was like, well, I don't think a 60-year-old would be able to know how to like this random 60-year-old. I don't think she'd be able to know to like hack in all these social media accounts and like post nudes of teenagers and all this stuff. But anyway, so the phone number, the recent activity was in Shelby, North Carolina, and Jacksonville, Florida. So the two places that this Zoe character was saying that they had established whatever, but they weren't sure which one she was in.
Didn't he say they were really close to each other, like Shelby, North Carolina, and Jacksonville, Florida?
No, they're far. There's like South Carolina, and then Georgia, and then Jacksonville is North Florida. So I mean, it's probably like a 10-hour drive.
I think it was a different place in Florida that was close to Jacksonville that he's saying those two were close together.
Well, going back, you know how she was coming to visit him, and she was like, "I'll be there at 2." Like, where did he think she was coming from?
I have no idea. Yeah. I mean, regardless, she wasn't where she said she was. So I don't know if she was like going to Pittsburgh to visit or if he was in Jacksonville visiting his sister, and that's when she said she was coming over. I'm assuming that's what it was. But anyway, so they kind of do some research on this Mary Ann character, and they want to see who she might be related to, and they start kind of piecing together a little family, and they come across Michael Rosmus, who we see his pictures, football player, whatever. He's definitely in pictures with Mary Ann. It's his mom, judging by the pictures. And they notice another person in the picture, but at the time they're still logged into on Craig's Facebook, so when they do the little mouse over the girl's face, it's not it like doesn't come up with a name or anyone tagged. So Neve, being as smart and quick as he is, logs out and logs back in on his, goes back to the same page, and it's someone's tag there, and it's Cassandra from before.
If it's almost too easy, it's like she didn't think it all through.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a Marianne Rosmus. I don't think she was like. That's a very far stretch. Like, you would need Neve to come figure that out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that he should have figured out that he just didn't. And so.
Yeah. So, but yeah, at that moment, I was like, oh my God, it's Cassandra. But I think, like, when we saw Cassandra the first time, we kind of knew it was her already. Yeah. But to have this, like, direct connection, it's like, well, that's it. They solved it. I was so excited.
Right, me too.
But anyway, so they keep doing some research. But so the reason that it didn't come up is because she had blocked Craig from Cassandra, her real profile, Cassandra Rosmus. She had blocked Craig from that account so that he could never see that profile. And why would you do that if you're not the person that, if you're not hiding?
I think that was smart on her part. She did think about it a
she
little
thought
bit
that
to
through.
go.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people are blocking Neve right now. Like, oh, he might find me.
Yeah, seriously.
Block Neve, block Max.
Yeah, seriously. That's a good point. But then they notice also that her Facebook domain name is C Rosmus X3, and then her Zoe one is Zoe Peterson X3. Yeah. So there's still, so we have the mother, we have, now she's this Cassandra person that we've already seen before, similar domain names, and then the final piece that puts it all together, even though we already know it's her, they go on YouTube, search her, she has a YouTube video, and they're able, from that YouTube video, to match her voice with her phone calls. So go ahead and say what you're thinking, because I see your face over there.
I just, I hate that video. That video is scaring me. I'm going to have nightmares over it. I was like, what's wrong with her? What is she saying? Why does she look like that? It was just like, the Grudge just rose up, like, a bigger version of the Grudge. She's just, like, in YouTube. I was like, what is this? Like a horror movie. Like, what is going on right now?
I don't know. That was a pretty, and it was, like, mumbling and, like, some weird things. I didn't even know how they matched the, there must have been more to that video, because I don't know how they would have matched the voice.
I know, like you said earlier, like, you're talking to that on the phone and you're not thinking, this doesn't sound right.
Yeah, so we have the picture of the girl she's pretending to be, and we have this terrifying YouTube video of this girl. And I'm not, like, I don't want to be mean or anything.
It's not mean. It's honest. It's not like it was just, like, her and it's, like, the way she looks. It's, like, everything about the video is terrifying. Her voice, like, everything.
So, obviously, these pictures of this girl that you think you're talking to with the YouTube video, that voice to this picture, that's got to be another sign.
Flag.
Yes, that this person. And also, I don't understand how that voice could be that comforting.
It's like, this voice is so sexy.
Yeah. She might comment down on the phone.
Yeah,
she might comment down.
Yeah,
on the phone. We don't know.
Maybe she feels more comfortable.
You couldn't understand her. Sorry, but you couldn't understand anything she said.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that once we get to meet her. All right. So then they take all this evidence and they take it to Craig and Mariah, and they kind of laid it all out for him. And poor Craig is like, yeah, that's her.
I just wanted to give
the girl I've been dating for a year and a half.
I just wanted to give him a hug and be like, Craig, I'll talk to you if you need guidance. I'll talk to you.
I wish Mariah would have just beat her up.
Yeah,
I know, that would have been very eventful.
Yeah. As a sister too, I would have beat her up. Well, maybe I probably couldn't take her. I'm lying. I'm lying, but I would have wanted to. I probably would have tried.
That's very true. Yeah, I don't even know. So they decide that, all right, well, let's just try to meet this girl, see why she is so focused or so driven to ruin this many people's lives. Because at this point, it's not just Craig whose heart she's broken. Tear. But it goes way beyond that. You have Kaylin, Mariah, everyone else in Jacksonville. Who knows who else she's doing this to? Because this obviously is some sort of game. She's getting some sort of satisfaction from doing this, and so hopefully they're just going to try to get some closure, first of all, and also just see why the hell she wants to do this. All right, so they call her and they leave a voicemail. She doesn't answer, and she keeps forwarding it to voicemail. It's not ringing and then hey, this is Cassandra. I was about to say Zoe, but this is Cassandra. It's like, your call has been forwarded to, like, so she's obviously ending it. She's not answering the phone. So they're like, all right, let's just pack our bags and go to Shelby, North Carolina. Which I can say I've been to Shelby, North Carolina. It's like 45 minutes from where I'm from.
Okay.
So, real proud to be from the area.
Don't worry, girl. Don't worry.
Maybe you can go see Zoe. Or
Yeah,
Zoe.
then maybe we can be friends. Yeah.
Real life friends, not online.
Yeah, now I'm like
friends.
nervous she's going to like find me or something. Okay, anyway. So they decide to go anyway. They pack their bags. They bring the whole gang. Craig's there, Mariah's there, Max is there. The whole MTV camera crew is there. And they go, since they were able to find her address through the research, and because of Marianne, her mom didn't cover her tracks very well, and they had like the address from the phone and all that stuff. So they just, hey, let's hop on over to the home, and we're gonna come unannounced. And it's their first surprise catfish, because usually they call and they set up this meeting, whether it's at a house or at like a restaurant or something. So it's very risky for them to just show up.
Producer's idea.
Yeah. So it's just very risky for them to just do a surprise attack on these people. But granted, we don't know like how surprised it was, but
I would do it too, because it's like you spent all this time invested in following all this, and now the girl's not answering her phone. And it's like, boom, pop up, surprise, we're here. I would do it too. I would definitely be there.
But you saw it on YouTube. You could have gotten shot.
No.
yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't have shown up at her front door.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a very nice house. It's like, super, I don't think
And her mom and brother look like they have sense.
And
But
I think
she's not very nice.
Yeah, but it's her mom's house, and so I think that is one like big that's a safe. I would like to say so. And I think the thing about these people is that they're hiding behind these online identities, and they're not necessarily that aggressive in person. Exactly. Like, I think that they use these online accounts, things they can hide behind, so that they're not really, that's not the real life situation for them. Yeah. Like, I feel like that happens so often that you just have, people being...
I call them cyber thugs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
like they think they're badasses, and they're really not.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
That's really nice of you for having sympathy for her, but
bless your heart is what you just told
bless
me.
it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm lost for words right now.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't have sympathy for her at all, but I think that is the case for most people who do this catfishing stuff, is because they feel more comfortable as someone else, so they don't have to actually confront it in real life.
That's everyone.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. Even if you're gonna argue with someone, it's like they can say so much over text, but they wouldn't say that to you in person. It's just like so easier in general life to hide behind a text message or a Facebook message or anything where you don't have to speak to someone in person.
No, and that's the given. And then even just like not even talking, but online you can edit all of your pictures before you put them up, as opposed to just like being yourself, and like no filter here, ladies. Like, sorry.
Hashtag no filter.
yeah, seriously. Okay, so they go there, and no one's there. Well, they think no one's there. No one's answering the door, but the garage is open. So they're like, they think someone definitely is there, and obviously I thought she was going to be inside, but then she pulls up in a car. Side note, already mic'd. Side note, already hair and makeup. I'm just going to throw that out there. But, and she gets out there, and she's just like, you mentioned this, that you couldn't really understand anything that she was saying.
No. At first I thought it was a really bad lisp, and then I tried to listen some more, and it was just like she wasn't pronunciating her words right.
And I think that goes back to hiding behind these online identities, because she has so much confidence online. Like, I can show any of you up or whatever, but I think it's her presence in person, that has a lot to do with her confidence in person. And and when we see her on the camera, she's laughing, and she's smiling, and a lot of people do that when they're uncomfortable or nervous, and I think that's what she was feeling, but it came off as very rude, very insensitive, and they ask her why she does it, and she says it's a joke that got out of hand, and it's a game to her. Mm-hmm. And, even at that point, I couldn't tell if she was just trying to play tough or if this is actually just some sick game to her. Like, what do you guys think about that?
I don't know. I was a little shocked when she said she didn't have feelings for Craig.
Right.
Because it's like, well, then why did you keep on? I think that was a front. I think she was lying.
I think so, too.
I think she did really have, I think at first it might have been a game, but then she was like, wow, I really like this boy, but, you know, I could
never be
it.
myself around him. And also the same thing about that is that you can't have these conversations on the phone for hours on end talking about your father, talking about, you know, financial struggles, like all this stuff, and not have any feelings for this person for a year and a half. I mean, come on. You're not fooling anyone. But the thing that was like so sick to me was that she was like, I really just wanted to put these people on blast. I just wanted to mess with people. I was like, why? Like that, and then
she tried to do the whole, like, you know, I feel sorry for the whole bullying thing, but she tried to use that as her excuse.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you were bullied, so you're going to bully other people? That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and in that first time we see her in the driveway, so in this first scene with Cassandra, she says, her excuse is that the fake profile wasn't me. She's like, you can't put this all on me. The fake profile isn't me. I'm like, well, who was it? Well, like, who else is it? Who else's fault is it?
Was it his fault for believing you?
Yeah,
for liking
like,
you? For loving you?
I didn't know what she meant by that.
I think it was like a psychiatric thing. Like, if you are so, like, clearly you have time invested in this to mess with all these people. Like, that's dedication. That's like a full-time job right there.
Right.
Like, with overtime galore. So it's just like, if you're so invested, at some point, I think in her mind, like, she really thought, like, you know, she was this person. Like, this is, like, kind of like a real person to her. Yeah. For her to say that, that's what I thought. That's what I got from it.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. It, like, clears it up for me a little bit because I was like, well, it's you. Like, I was confused by that. She might actually believe that she is this person and that, you know, it could be her, like, online presence is this person. And, you know, they never said in the end, like, whether or not, did she delete it or she did delete it? Or he defriended her. I'm not sure. We'll talk about that in a second.
It tried out like he was defriending her, but it was like,
removed from your life forever. Yeah. So at the end of the first time we see her, she says,
I never saw that button before.
Yeah,
I need that.
Is there a button for that on Facebook?
I know. I need to find it.
I need that for a few people. That. Okay. But at the end of the first time we see her, she says, whatever, and walks away. And I'm like, all right, bye. Like,
she
later.
Stands there. She, like, walks away, and then she kind of, like, looks.
And like, she like all sad.
Back.
Yeah. It really bothered me how she kept saying, okay.
Okay.
I couldn't
it was like
I was like, say it one more time.
Yeah, so they let it breathe, let the situation simmer for a moment. And by a moment, I mean overnight. And the next day, they decide to go back again. And they're like, all right, let's just head on over there.
Surprise! Part 2!
We're back! Ladies, party time.
Like, it said, can we come over? And she's like, sure.
Whatever. Sure, period. Whatever, period. Like she has somewhere else to be.
And then she opened up the door. Mic'd.
Yeah.
Hey,
guys. Yeah. So I just think that she loves this attention.
She does.
Like, and, you know, that's sad, and I get it, like, for these people that hide and they want all this attention. But, like, this isn't the way to do it. Like, I feel like you could be a decent person and still get people to like you. This is just making everyone resent you in the situation. But we all started laughing when we were watching it because they sit down and she's just like, she has a smile on her face and she's like, I'm sorry. Or like, wait, was that a real apology? I was not expecting it to start that way, but that was like her only...
she never told Craig she was sorry.
Well, that first, when they were sitting down, it was like, and I'm sorry, but she was laughing and she was smiling. I don't know if it was because she was uncomfortable, but she was like, I'm sorry for what I did to you.
I think that's because, you know, as they touched on, like a few minutes later, because she still had her guard up at that point. She was still trying to be that person that came off as hard and mean and big and bad, and she was still in that mindset when they were talking.
Yeah, and she keeps that front the whole time she's sitting down with Craig, and that makes Craig want to get up and leave, as he does, and he goes in the car with Mariah. He's like, all right, well, I'm done with this, because if she's not going to explain this to me, or at least say that she's sorry, or like really, feel bad for how many lives she's ruined, and I'm not getting through to her, then I'm just going to leave.
I think it touched her when he asked her if, like, if you told me who you really were, do you think we wouldn't be together? Do you think it would at least be a friendship? And he's like, you're wrong about that.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, that's when she kind of started to break down. And she was just like, you want answers, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then he just left, and I don't think she expected him to just leave that soon.
Yeah.
But I think at that point, she was starting to get somewhere.
Right. Well, Craig is such a good guy. Like, he's super sensitive, and he's really sweet. And he obviously, like, maybe he said at the beginning of the episode that he would, if she's not who she says she is, I would be down for a friendship. Like, I'd be willing to, like, end on a good note, be friends, like, whatever. And, that just says a lot about him, because he's been hurt so bad by this girl. And his sister and his friends have all been hurt by her. But for him to even still see a friendship involved and, like, to even be able to exist is, it just speaks to his character.
Yes.
And she was like, no, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, really?
Like,
you did this, girl?
He doesn't want to be friends with you anyway.
She's trying to be cool, though. She's trying to be
Yeah.
cool. Some people, I think, when they just get bullied in high school, they have this obsession to be cool in life.
Right.
And once they find that place, they just stick with it.
Yeah, so she does break down a little more so Craig leaves, Neve and Max come in, and she starts off by crying, but she's like, I just don't even care, but she's crying, so she obviously cares.
Yeah.
And
Max says that too.
What?
Max says that too.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, so obviously you actually care.
Yeah.
And she admits that growing up she was bullied, which isn't a surprising thing to find out, because, it's kind of like a cycle. If you're a bully, you become a bully, just to have that power over people. And Neve asks her if she's ever had suicidal thoughts, and she said that she has thought about killing herself on a few occasions. And he's just like, let this change your life. Like, you don't have to live like this. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to ruin these other people's lives, because it's just this whole cycle, because then maybe these people you're doing it to will do it to other people, and they'll do it to other people, and then it's just like a lot of negative energy. And I just feel like, I think that this could be the Bobet that changes her. What do you think that she's going to change?
I don't think she's going to change.
Yeah, I don't either. And I think karma is,
Yeah.
the B word.
So I wanted to ask you guys.
Say it. It's a bitch.
I didn't know if I could say that live.
That's what it is.
Wasn't
From Mississippi.
Sure.
Sometimes
Jesse's from Mississippi. She's just a small town girl in a big old city. But I wanted to ask you guys, so now that we're on the topic of bullying and that whole thing, do you think her being bullied is ever an excuse to act the way she did?
No, definitely not.
Right. And it's just like, it's like those times when she's like, well, I was bullied, and that's like, I guess, how it all started. You sympathize with her for a second, but then you remember, like, all of this stuff. And before she was like, I just wanted to put people on blast. Like, I wanted to mess with people. And she was very intentional about that. She went to great lengths to ruin these people's lives. And I think that just goes so far beyond being bullied. Like, I'm so sorry she was bullied before. Right. Like, no one ever deserves that kind of treatment. And it's just the fact that she continued that cycle, it just makes it inexcusable.
It's really selfish on her part for her to, sit there and experience bullying and then want to put that on other people, make other people feel like she does. And it's like, if I can't be happy, nobody else should be happy. And I want to take that happiness away from them.
Yeah.
I wish I would have got, like, a lot more details about her bullying. Because when you think of bullying, you think of someone, like, taking her lunch money or something. But it's like the stuff that she was doing just leads me to believe that she was, like, tortured or tormented in some way.
Right.
And it's just like, but at the same time, you don't know. Because, like, as you see from the pictures, her brother's a football player. So he looks like a cool jock, like, you know, but it's just like for her to be like, I want to put them on blast and specifically go after pretty girls that are in his phone, just makes me wonder, like, what exactly happened to her. I wish they would have talked about that more. What exactly happened? You know, your brother is a football player. How did that happen? But you don't really know. So you don't know what extent of bullying it was for her.
Regardless, she is heavy into the online bullying now, which is a huge issue in today's online internet world. And, you know, it's just like, I'm really happy that Catfish is like bringing this all to light for us, and I'm really happy with the first episode. They did a lot of new things. They did the surprise attack visits. They did more dimensions of catfishing. They did not just if you're in a romantic relationship with someone, but also, you know, her having these kind of revenge setups on other girls, like the online bullying. So it got more into that topic, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah. And they did it with someone that's not together anymore. Usually you have cases where they're like trying to know each other and they're still together. Like they weren't together anymore. So I thought that was cool. Yeah.
So it ended on a, you know, note. We found out it's not her. I'm really hoping she decided that was the end of Zoe. She's not bullying anymore, but I guess we'll just find out like they didn't do like a, you know, usually at the end of Catfish, they do like 2 months later, they go back and do that. They didn't do that this episode. I just realized that. They didn't like go back to see like the progress that's been made. Did they do that?
No,
they didn't. Okay, I didn't think so. All right, well, let's get into some predictions for this season.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
So do you want to start, Jessie?
Yeah.
I know you've got some on deck.
Yeah, well, basically, in the news and gossip, I found a prediction. It's not really a prediction. It's kind of like it will happen.
Yeah, okay.
So I predict...
So you have a really educated prediction
here.
Okay.
That a couple will get married.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yay. That'll be a first. Well, on the show, you think, or in the future?
I think in the future. I don't know. They might get married on the show because in the interview they said a couple will get married. So I'm almost wondering if they propose and they're like, okay, let's get married. So, yeah.
I'm wondering if that's a couple that's been on the show before and they're coming back and getting married, or if it's a new couple that's been like dating online for a certain amount of years and now that they've finally met in person, they're like, let's do it. Let's tie the knot, get hitched. Woohoo.
Maybe we'll see a wedding. Maybe they'll go to Vegas.
Yes, so I was thinking they're going to go do the drive-through in Vegas and they're like, thanks, Neve, thanks, Max. I need you to be our witnesses and get married right there.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, divorce.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, you know, aside from marriage, I would like to see this season some more couples end well, be who they're saying they are. But also, I want to see people not being who they say they are. I find that so interesting. I love the research part of it when it's like, you know, they're doing all the little typing and finding out who it is. Like, so I love that drama of that. So I want to see some more surprises.
I want to see, like, some other ways that they meet each other other than Facebook.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
You know, it'd be interesting if they like incorporated like Tinder.
Yes,
but that connects to your Facebook, so I don't know. But if they incorporated some of those like apps, like there's Coffee Meets Bagel or something like that. Something about breakfast foods, I can't remember.
Yeah, or OkCupid. Everyone's like, OkCupid.
Yeah, like dating sites and that sort of stuff. Yeah, it would definitely be, that would be a good one. Okay, so Jessie, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Jessie Owen.
You can find me at Kiki Ayers, KIKIAYERS.
Okay. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sterling Cates and on a few other AfterBuzz shows and MTV's Faking It on Tuesdays. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We will be back next week, Wednesday night, for next week's episode of Catfish. Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.